The ultimate home mod. Today is the day, guys. We are gathering all the supplies for one of those home mods I didn't think that I would actually ever need. We got Jacob here who's gonna be helping out today as per usual, and I'm really looking forward to this. We've actually waited a few months for this to arrive, and there's a very specific reason why. And it's kind of part of the reason this video is titled the way that it is. We're gonna be installing a 20-foot gate today at the entrance of the homestead. There's a very real reason why, but I need to tell you guys something really important first. And that, my friends, is that Dream Diesel giveaway number 18, AKA that 2020 Gloss Army Green, one of one F450 Platinum Power Stroke, and $30,000 are truthfully up for grabs. We have a title that needs your name signed at the bottom. Plus, we need a new responsible party to maintain that $30,000 cash. And the question is, will it be you? I said in my last upload, I'll remind you guys again that 15 times entries are live right now, which is the highest multiplier for the entire campaign. So if you guys want to get entered, check out Enthusiast. All the information about how to get entered is there. I can't wait to meet you in July to hand over the keys for that thing and the cash. Oh, we got a squeaker over there, do we? Might need a little WD-40 there, Jacob.
Nah, it's good.
So yes, my friends, today we are collectively installing a 20-foot steel gate at the entrance of my house. I never really thought that I would need a gate like this, but there's a very good reason why this gate is going up. And that is truthfully because YouTube kind of forced me to do it. Not actually YouTube corporate by any means. It's not like they have this in their fine print, but as the business has grown, as the YouTube channel has grown, and I guess as this platform continues to provide me the opportunity that I'm grateful for, it also increases my general awareness in the public, and I absolutely love that. It's a really cool thing to be able to see you guys, meet you guys, and run into you on the streets, but it's a little bit different when we're talking about my house. And it honestly is one of those things where I wish that I could just kind of pause all of those aspects of having a YouTube channel and that public facing image when I'm at my house, because when I'm at my house, all I ask you guys for is privacy. Now, specifically to my local individuals, you know who you are. I've had some conversations with you guys, and I've politely asked you not to drive by my house and creepily stalk it. I know exactly who you are, and I would politely ask you and remind you again that I really don't appreciate it. I bought a house literally in the middle of nowhere to stay intentionally off the map, A, because I didn't really want neighbors, because I'd like to kind of live my life and do with my life as I please, and provide a fantastic homestead for my family, for my son, for my dogs, and for us to grow here collectively together. Now, I love bringing you guys along the homestead projects. It is something that I use YouTube as a platform to share what I enjoy, because I know you guys share those same enjoyments. And if anything, I want to motivate you guys to do more with your life if you have aspirations to do so. But the continuous driving by and the revving and the people that feel like it's appropriate to pass my house 7 or 8 times, I really don't appreciate that. I intentionally have no trespassing signs posted all over my property, and I have had, this might come as a surprise to some of you guys, because I don't think many YouTubers really talk about this, and I've actually had people drive into my driveway and knock at my front door because they watch me on YouTube. That is not appropriate by any means. Guys, I love you all to death. You have no idea how grateful I am for every single one of your support, and as a token of appreciation from my request to you, I'd ask that you just don't do that. I have a young child in the house. He goes to sleep early, and you guys finding it that it's necessary to speed up and down my road or do burnouts in front of my house at night? Dudes, what are you guys thinking? Like, that is easily one of the most inappropriate things to do in any scenario. We're not at a truck meet, we're not at the drag strip, and we're not at a racing event. My house is not that at all. Now, yes, do I love doing burnouts, and do I love obviously taking the vehicles out to Mexico and having my fun at appropriate times? Without a question of a doubt. If anything, I'm all about it. But just don't do it in front of my house. That's all that I could ask. So it's gotten to the point that I installed 45 green giants that in a year are gonna grow together so nobody will be able to see my house from the street. And I will now have a 20-foot steel gate that's remotely operated by yours truly to add to that protection. And right on the front of it, it will say no trespassing. And there will be a camera there so I can make sure that I can catch the license plates of the individuals that feel the need to continue to do this and disobey my polite request to stop. Now, yes, I understand I live on a backcountry road, but you also need to realize that there's only a few neighbors that live down the street from me that way, and I know every single one of them. I know what they drive, and I know if they have a modified exhaust. I also know if you're passing my house repeatedly and pushing your clutch in and revving your engine. That is not welcome. I realize it's a public road and I get that it kind of comes with the territory, but I'm just making a polite request to you guys. I freaking love you guys. I treat every single one of you with the utmost respect, as if I would want to have the same interaction if the roles were reversed and all I could do is ask for the same. So this is a pretty rad house mod. I am stoked. Never put a gate in before, but it looks like we've got all the appropriate things, including an extremely squatted LML that has 22 80-pound bags of concrete in the back. For those of you that are quick with your mental arithmetic, I commend you, but yes, that's roughly 1,800 pounds, and the LML is very much squatting and leaning back harder. So this is a 20-foot arched center gate from standardgates.com. Not a paid promotion, but the guys were really awesome over there that hooked us up with this setup. This is essentially a drag and drop kit that is extremely well made. We've got two 10-foot gate panels on either side, and it is a dual swing gate. We are going to arrange the gate to swing in and open in the driveway. On the outside, we've actually got an intercom setup that does have a few cameras. Everything is right here. That will go on a separate pedestal for entry. This will be able to be controlled by my phone, and there will be fobs specifically for all of the vehicles, so that way when I approach the gate, it will open automatically. Now on the back side, there is a small little motion sensor that will actually detect the vehicle approaching from the inside out and will automatically open the gate from the inside out. We've got some posts that we need to get buried and leveled up, and we got to bury these things in concrete. There's a ton of work to do. Now, for those of you guys that might be looking to add a gate to your property, definitely consider Standard Gates. Those dudes were awesome, and they make buying a gate, which isn't something that everybody just does all the time, surprisingly easy. It's all point and click. Choose your options, and then within about a month to a month and a half, your gate will be at your house, properly packaged. Just make sure that you request the right unloading method, whether or not you have a piece of equipment like we do here, or if you need a little bit of assistance with a lift gate. Look at this squat on the LML, boy, she is loaded down. Oh, looks like Jake found a really nice place to sit.
It is nice. Got a little leg room.
Just to walk you guys through a few of the steps that we've taken thus far. A while back, before I bought my own Beltec auger, I used a buddy of mine, Tony Becker's local landscaper, that did these really nice trees and that really nice hardscaping wall at my house. He was kind enough to let me trench out some holes, but as you can see, over time, debris, settlement, weather kind of filled them back in. So we're gonna have to auger these back out. Our goal is to get these roughly 32 to 36 inches deep, 3 foot deep, roughly. Conduit lines run from the house now. We've got our 12-2 underground wire. We've got an Ethernet Cat 6, and then we've got our third thermostat wire that actually runs over to where the intercom is going to be powered. I do have my conduit run way higher than we need for the time being, just to keep them out of the ground and everything like that. So now we got to grab the auger, we got to clean this hole out, we got to clean that hole out, and then we actually have to make a third hole for where we are going to cement in the neck post for the actual intercom, camera, this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking we're gonna kind of put it directly in line with this post right here, because that's where the gate will open and we'll ultimately be driving through.
Yo, let's do this. Now picture homie rolling. Let me offer my condolence. You don't know just how I'm doing. And the silence gold I'm broke cause they know him for talking fluent. Got him under the influence, the truest, talking to him. But if on your ego, bumping him out music, I'm eschewing. I just doing good a day, gonna have to get explicit. I got love for rappers like I do. And I got that pass, though, I'm gonna ask permission if I can kick it. Checking the repertoire, I got that rep up on with the best who did it. Let's get it how I'm living. Shout out to the ones that with them. Think that I wanted a ransom where ends gold dog when I'm in the building. And it kind of ironic, who would have thought that I'd be the hottest? Never came close to being no bitch, but you know Snow was a fucking product. Tell me who won it? Not what you want is bound to be iconic, baby, you got it. Let me get that love and that's 100, checking the proof on it. When I'm in the spot and I catch the feeling, raising the roof on it. You know that we going to about the head. Y'all ain't ready. Blaze up the whole damn city.
Hey, hey, hey,
Come back
hey!
in. You missed your destination.
You're dumping at the wrong freaking spot.
Excited to do this for 38 holes. All right, guys, now here comes the part where we're not experts by any means, but we're definitely not scared to figure it out. So we spent the last kind of hour trying to kind of sort things out. I did end up actually buying this laser off of Amazon. This is to shoot our grade. It's going to be very helpful in this process. We're gonna mark a point on that post, and that is gonna be our high grade because we actually have about a 6-inch slope difference from our right side here to our left side, which is very good to know because we don't want to set our post at the same height to ground level because then our gate would kind of be somewhat tilted, and we don't want that. We're shooting for a nice level gate because down the road I would very much like to pave this, and when we pave it I want to build it up so it's nice and flat versus the kind of small contour that it has right now. So I actually did fill in my other post hole. We did some measurements and it was about 6 inches off, so we filled that in. We cleared out a little area so that way we can dig another post hole, but what we're going to do before that was we're actually going to set our initial one. So Jake ran out to the local hardware store, B&G. Shout out to those guys for being a big help as always, and grabbed ourselves some bracing so when we do pour this concrete we can really get this nice and set up. We have all of our power ran and everything is pretty much ready to rock and roll there. It's just that we don't want to set any specific posts before we have an ability to brace them, but then we will be off to the races. In the meantime, as we wait for Jake to return, I get to do the ever so fun task of mixing up 160 pounds of concrete. Concrete fascinates me. It's just sand and stones and stuff like that, but then it turns into super hard rock, and it kind of blows my mind. Listen to it, boys. Oh, it sounds so good. Woo! You're teasing everybody. Stop it.
You're teasing me.
You're naughty. Oh, look, guys, we got $750 worth of lumber.
For that fortune and you feel that blue. When everything you wanna hear is turning into no's. When you got something in your heart, they never know. You flow with your heart, you flow with your faith, you flow with the love, baby, love for the good. It's what I do when you hold me down.
All right, boys, so that's where our second post is gonna go. We've got our first one all created, and this is kind of like our guiding post. So now we gotta measure 20 foot off, which we already did. We made 3 lines over here. Our center line is where our post is gonna go, and then we're gonna ultimately auger out on the side. I went a foot out from each, so that's a 19 foot, that's a 21 foot. Sometimes when you're dealing with like these little rocks, the auger wants to walk a little bit. So we're gonna go and get that thing hooked up again.
Baby, hit 'em with your knives. Hit 'em with the bag, baby, hit 'em with your knives. You be up so high, chillin' with the satellites, looking at the sky from above with those eagle eyes. Pass me the ball, pass me the salt, pass me the ball, pass me the salt. Let me spray it on you with a little bit of abalone. With the caviar, baby, you know what I'm talking. What I do when you hold me down. It's what I do when I'm on the ground. It's what I do when you hold me down. You can't hold me down. When everything you wanna hear is turning into no's. When you got something in your heart, they never know.
All right, boys and girls, I gotta give RR Buildings a huge amount of credit for actually building immaculate, well-constructed buildings and filming them. It is not easy to film and work at the same time. And he does a lot of new things that he always figures out, and we do too. And it definitely makes it a little challenging when you try to turn the camera on to perform a task and you don't necessarily know how to perform the task. But boys and girls, we are good. We've got our 3 posts curing in concrete, all hand mixed, 22 bags. 1,700 and whatever pounds, 1,800 pounds of concrete. Definitely was a lot of work, but very satisfying, very gratifying, and very fulfilling to say that we did this ourselves. We've got all of our supports ready to rock and roll. Cure time, 24 to 48 hours or whatever. It's gonna rain for the next 3 days, so I'm not gonna get out here and hang the gates, but that's the next step. We gotta throw our through bolts through, hang the gate, get them adjusted. There's a lot of a little adjusting that you need to do. We need to mount the control box. We need to mount the motor arms. I need to do 2 more trenches, one that runs across the span of the driveway, which is actually going to run power from the control box over to the other actuating arm. And then there's actually a sensor that will come off of this side, I believe. We're gonna trench it down, but not as deep. It's in an underground conduit cable, so not really all that big of a deal. And we're actually gonna plant that right in the center of the driveway. It's a 50-foot magnetic sensor, and it will detect your vehicles as you approach the gate, so it will open automatically for you, which is really cool. And then we've got the intercom, camera, radio, and app connected device that will go here. That's that thing that you guys saw earlier when I went back to the trailer. It's got a camera up here. It's got a dial pad for the code. It's got a ring button, which will go to our cell phones, and we'll be able to answer, monitor, and watch a bunch of stuff right from there, which will be very, very nice. So a lot going on, but like I said, guys, it's basically like YouTube kind of somewhat forced me to do this only because I very much value my privacy, my family's privacy, and my privacy of my house. I love you guys so much. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am to have this platform to share my life with all of you. I just asked that if the tables were turned, how would you guys want to have it handled? Might be kind of hard to put yourselves in my shoes from time to time, but there's really nothing no different than me, as I love my family just as much as I'm sure that you love yours, and I very much value our privacy. So we have another green giant that's going to be going here on the left side. That's going to kind of complete that corner, but it was good that it wasn't there because we had our square string in place. Oh man, yes, it's very much coming along, and I am so freaking excited about it. Plus, guys, all these things, yes, do a lot of value for the privacy of my home, but it's also going to help to increase the value of the property over time. Homeowner stuff, homeowner exciting things, dad probs, call it what you will, but I do get a ton of gratification doing mods to the household, because when we moved in here, I'll tell you what, the house is cool, but it needed a lot of work. It had a lot of potential. It's just that it wasn't where it needed to be, and we are slowly incrementally doing that, and you guys are along for the ride, and that's what makes it even more special. So boys and girls, we do have to get some of this electronic stuff inside. As you can see, there's still a decent amount of stuff, but that was the primary foundation, literally and physically, for all this other stuff to work. Here's that intercom I was telling you about. It's very nice. It's got a stainless steel facade, speaker, screen, ring button, which you can actually also make, I think, stainless. They have that little button right there, which is kind of cool. Power, caps for the posts, blah, 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 blah. Oh, here's the sensor I was telling you guys about. There's literally just a massive sensor. And you can see right here, it senses when a vehicle is approaching, which is pretty neat. All right, boys and girls, so that's where we're gonna wrap up this video. We gotta put all this stuff away before the forecasted rain hits us. We definitely don't want it hitting us while all those electronics are out. So if you haven't grabbed your entries already, 15 times entries for SARGE, AKA Dream Diesel giveaway number 18. That truck, 30 grand and 15 times entries could make that thing yours. Just think about your name on the title of that truck right there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for subscribing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for watching, and I will see you all in the next upload. And so will Jake. Peace from Enthusiast.